Good morning, YouTube family. South Texas Prepper here. Today's November the 12th, 2023. Well, guys, it's been a while. Once again, I haven't done a video. But of course, like I say, like I've told y'all before, I'm always preparing. I'm always, keeping up with what's going on. As far as world, around the world, locally, with the economy, and with the general SHTF scenarios that are going on all around us, right? So today, guys, I wanted to really talk to y'all about um, a couple of interesting videos that I saw that kind of like I had been wanting to do something about, like along those lines, and it's funny, but one of them is I saw was from Magic Prepper, and the other one was from PrepperNow. And what they were talking about really was basically the kind of the same thing that we're talking about. Was that especially Magic Prepper, because he did a video specifically on on keeping aware of the threat levels around you, right? That we are in the days um, where everything that's going on. I mean, you can look at things that are going around the world, around the country, but specifically look at what's going on around you, where you are, right? And he was giving different stories, reading different stories about like some of them talked about something that happened in Houston, something that happened in East Coast, whatever. um and I believe I've talked about this before, but one of the best ways, guys, that I use specifically for myself, my family, especially my wife, is as far as for local intel that gives you that lets you know what's going on, is the Nextdoor app. Now, like everything else, Nextdoor app has its it's good points and its bad points. You got a lot of dramatic people, a lot of nosy people that just have to stick their nose in other people's business, right? At the same time, there are people that even for there's a lot of uh, people that have kind of like pantries for the community. And I've been meaning to make a video about one of these local women here, a local resident in this neighborhood that has a pantry. But anyway, good and bad, right? People that are dramatic. People are playing their music all day, or all hours of the night. It's late. Um, somebody's chickens got loose into my yard. Things like that, right? Their dogs, whatever. Legitimate or not, right? But you hear all kinds of stuff. But at the same time, you hear a lot of uh, especially like with the crime, um, teenagers breaking into yards, crossing fences or whatever, breaking into cars, ransacking cars, stealing equipment, whatever. um, and so it reminded me that like I've told y'all before, guys, when there's an SHTF situation, um, it's not gonna be something like in the movies, right? um, it's gonna be it the it's gonna be a whole series of events, a lot of things happening at the same time. The crime's gonna go up. um you're gonna have very corrupt politicians like we are now. You're gonna have just all kinds of a lot of violence, a lot of you know crime that is just out of just for nothing, right? People getting hurt, people getting robbed and shot. Excuse me. We've seen a lot of that. Road rage, all these things, right? So it reminded me a while back, just all kinds of things, guys, happen around here. We're in a rural area. um so it's very easy to, when somebody doesn't belong here, or something's going on and it doesn't quite fit, people are very fast to notice it. um for the most part, people do kind of stick to themselves. But those people on this Nextdoor app, guys, which is the point of this video, and this Nextdoor app, they do report what they see, and they put it out there for the community so that we can be alerted, so that we can be aware of all these things that are going on. Um, we've seen, you know, trafficking, people, illegals being let loose in the neighborhood, white vans, just very weird stuff, guys. I mean, so my wife, um, she works in the local school district, so they drive around the whole area, and she sees a lot of stuff on the road. I mean, a lot of stuff she's that she like is always looking at. And so the point of this video, guys, is that there's 2 points to this video. Okay, before I, just to lay down the groundwork, the what I'm talking about here is local intelligence, right? Um, your information that'll keep you aware, the information that you're gonna get to help you be aware of everything that's going on, and help you connect the dots, right? And so it's not gonna be like on TV, guys. Okay, again, you're gonna have, it's gonna be not subtle, but it's not gonna be like in the movies. Okay, um, things are gonna happen, and people will just kind of like go into the flow. They'll just kind of like go along with it. Okay, and they'll do what they gotta do to cope with whatever's going on, but it's not gonna be like, you know like, and it can happen. I'm not saying it won't happen or it's not possible. I'm just saying that even when something like that happens, um it people are not gonna take it like that. People are not gonna, like, oh my god, we're in like a calamity, right? They're gonna deal with it in their own way, and so they won't really recognize it for what it is. It's a society in collapse, right? Another thing, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we are being inundated with so much news, like from the Middle East, for what's going on in Palestine and in Israel, the war that they are engaged in right now, the Middle East countries, all the all the foreigners that have been allowed to come into the United States, right, through the southern border, however they're coming in, they're being flown in. All these things, guys, the economy, the banks shutting down, which is what worries me the most, is the money. Okay, um, the political, the Republicans and the Democrats arguing about who's uh uh whose candidate is the best, which to me, they're all criminals. Uh they're all in it for themselves. So I don't go that I don't go there. Okay, I've been through a couple of elections where it told me that, you know what, this is all BS. It's never gonna, they have it rigged to where, like, one year, in one term, the House has a majority, and the president is the same majority as the House, right? The Senate is the other party. um never, they're never, like, let's say the Republicans have all three, or the Democrats have all three. You know what I'm saying? It never works out like that. Even though you would think, if everybody's voting straight ticket, right, you would think, the president wins or whatever, then the other two parts of the legislature are also going to be what the people want. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I digress. Another thing that's going on right now, guys, just so you know, is that we are being fed so much information, um, that it is part of the agenda. It is part of the operation, an operation against humanity. It's not one country against another. It's the ruling class against the people. Okay, the ruling class on one side, and humanity on the other, on a global scale. Okay, this is a war against humanity, and one of the things they're using is information. is you know, it's a psychological operation, guys. It's fifth generation warfare, and I've been talking about this for so long. You can go back in my videos on my playlist. Excuse me, on my videos. If you go back, and I have several on you know, if you look up the title, psychological operation, psychological this, psychological that. This has been going on for many years, and that's why I'm not very political. And another thing I've done, guys, is like I try never to throw out the baby with the bathwater, but I've seen a lot of YouTube channels that have like really surprised me. Really being talking about showing me that they're not really as awake or aware as I thought they were. Um, my core group of my core channels that I follow, they stay true to what they talk about, right? Um, Everybody's entitled to their opinion, to their beliefs, but when you're pushing the agenda of the ruling class or the elites or whatever you want to call them, that's a line for me, because you're just misleading people further on. And what's going on right now, guys, is just remember, it is a psychological operation. These people run think tanks, the military. That is all they do, is they study how to control people. I mean, it's a fact. It's not a conspiracy theory. Even big corporations, because I've been in meetings like that where they train their management on how to deal with their employees, right? Much smaller scale, but the same thing. How to talk to your employees, how to do this, how to do that, how to keep them in line, how to get them to be more productive, blah blah blah. I mean, this is what's going on in a big scale, guys. And that's not to say that we don't have problems. Yes, these problems are there, but they're being made worse by having people against each other. And if you really go into, like, I know I don't have TikTok. I don't do none of that. I don't have TikTok. I don't really have much social media. But I've seen some of these videos where, you know, and again, I don't know everything. My knowledge is very limited, and sometimes I try my best to talk about things that I know to be true. And if it's an opinion, I give my opinion. But you have a lot of things like on these TikTok shorts that come out, because they do come out on YouTube or Instagram. And, you know, they talk about, without going into a lot of detail, or, you know, you got to do your own due diligence, right? You got to follow up and look at what is this really going on or whatever. But you see a lot of people have broken through the deception, right? A lot of people are on the same page. Humanity, right? The family, and, you know, about the damage that's being done to the family, with the media and the public schools and this and that, right? And a lot of people are standing together, seeing what's going on. But you have the mainstream media, and you have these people that go along making it worse, following, pushing the agenda of the people that are at war with us. Okay. And I guess the point of this video, guys, is to let you know that the ruling class, the powers that be, whatever you want to call them, the big, like the WEF, the central banks, the big corporations, and their puppet governments, which the governments are just puppets, guys, of the corporations, right? And the bankers. Those institutions are at war with humanity, and they are very close to taking control. And how are they doing that? With the money. They're ready to go into digital currencies. They're taxing the hell out of us. Our utilities are going up. Our food is going up. Making it very hard for a lot of people to live, to make it. At the same time, I've seen so many videos that come out on, you know, if you make less than $50,000 a year, the government's giving these subsidies and these you know, all this money per month, whatever. If you look at that, I don't know if y'all seen those before, but if you look at them, they're really cutting out the middle class and just giving it to the people that are not producing anything. for the most part, right? Not everybody, but I'm speaking very general. But this is what they're doing, and the message of being a prep or preparedness, emergency preparedness, is to stock up on food, water, or whatever. And I know, like, people will think, well, what's the use with that? I understand, guys, on the level, right? Pay off your debt, try to pay off debts, try to make a side hustle, try to create your own business. Hey, you're preaching to the choir. I know that a lot of people don't have the ability or the means to do that. um, they're stuck in a situation, whether through their own neglect, or whether just their life, for whatever reason. That's where they're stuck. Okay. um, I've been blessed, my family has been blessed, we've been blessed that we were able to rise up from very low, guys, from very low, humble beginnings. And we've been able to come up through life, raise our kids, and we've been blessed. I know that with everything going on, we still live in a country, right, where we have those opportunities to do that. Okay. Don't get me wrong, man. I love America. I love the people of this country. There's good and bad, right? There's people that scumbags. They're, but we're still America, right? Our traditions, our, you know, what it is to be American, right? Yes, there's the Indians, blah blah blah. The Pilgrims took the land from the Indians, the American West. I understand all that, guys. Okay, but man, you know what? The American world history is, that's what it is: conquest, conquering, taking over people's land. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying, I take the good with the bad. And um, this country, there's still it's still set up in a way that you can make it. um, it's getting very hard, guys. Very hard to do that. So my point is that this is a prepper channel. This is a prepper community for the most part. But the thing is, my thing is that it's not just about preparing, right? About stocking up, um, getting all the things that you need for an emergency or for a collapse, whatever. But also trying to get the word so that people understand, that you understand that this is all psychological. It's a big psychological operation, and that those are one of the things that you need to prepare, that you need for yourself and for your family to prepare. It'll help you to prepare for what's coming and for what's going on. Because if you don't know that you are under attack or that you are in a war, then how are you going to defend yourself? So try to put the BS aside, the politics, all that, and see what's going on, guys. I know, I guess I'm preaching to the choir here, but for example, here where I live, there's a lot of poverty everywhere you look. But in my city and in my state, there's a lot of money coming in from countries where they just got dominated by communist policies, like California, the East Coast, a lot of the West Coast cities. A lot of people are moving here to Texas, just like they're moving to Florida, where it's a big conservative, where the state's like pretty conservative, business first, America first, things like that. But there's a big it's a big operation going on, guys, a psychological operation. And but you still see a lot of good things, like I said here, without getting off my point here. But here where I live in my state is a lot of money coming in, a lot of construction. but yes, the economy, the financial system is on very weak legs, and so. But again, here in Texas, a lot of resources, a lot of oil. Um, the state basically has its own gold supply. Um, so I try to be aware of these things. Okay, I try to be aware so that because you're as especially for you people that are the head of your households, whether it be the woman or the man, whatever, we're a team, right? But you have to keep up that positive, um, the positive outlook, because your family reads you very well, especially your children. You might not think so, but they know when you're worried, they know when you're stressed out. Excuse me. So again, guys, this video's kind of long. It's been a while. I just have a lot to say, but we've been preparing, my family and I. We've been, some things have to take a priority over others. But money's tight, you know what I'm saying. But again, we've been preparing. We're just taking what comes, and rolling with it. But just stay strong, guys, and remember a lot of this stuff. Not to sound all like sci-fi, but a lot of this stuff is not real. I mean, in other words, it's being it's like it's being done on purpose. The news, so much that, like, when you start, and when it first comes out, they're saying one thing, like all the misunderstanding and what's going on in the Gaza Strip. um like when this war started, a lot of things are coming out now that you know it's not the way it was reported at first. You got to look at that yourself. I'm not gonna say which, what way, because a lot of things you cannot say on this platform. But you know what I'm talking about. um Now things are coming out that, oh, you know what, it didn't really happen that way, or this didn't really happen in the way it was reported. You know what I'm saying? It's an information war, guys. Like Alex Jones with his Infowars, he was way ahead, way ahead. I don't. It's been years. I ain't listened to him, but he was right. It's an information war. Even more so these days. It's psychological warfare. It's fifth generation warfare, and just keep that in mind. And I'll always make videos about this. These are one of my favorite subjects. Is that the preparing? Yes, it's a must. But you have to train your mind. You have to look at things and the way you perceive the world, that we are being lied to on purpose. Okay. And some people are like, you know what, wow, I don't know what about all that. I'm like, people work from home, some people are into investing, they're doing their thing, they don't want to know. And you know what, guys, those are one of the things that we got to do, is think outside the box as to where how we can make some money. It's out there. Honestly, it just, you gotta go get it, guys. Okay, you just gotta get up and do it. You just gotta, just do or die. Okay. So again, keep your spirits up. Know what's going on. Again, to summarize, go to your Nextdoor app. You'll see a lot of good things. You'll see a lot of good intel, real intel from people that live around you in your area, which is what really matters, is what's going on in your part of the world. Okay. um and to tie it together is it's you'll get the real info instead of the BS that the mainstream media and even your local TV stations are feeding you guys. That's our main, the number one radio TV station here is owned by the Washington Post. So a lot of stuff is just garbage. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, it's good talking to y'all. Thank you for being here. When you can, share if you think it's worth sharing the videos, stuff like that. So anyway, guys, again, I'm gonna put some links. I think there's another video I'm gonna link from Amazing Polly. She does great research. So you'll see their videos, and I'm gonna leave like 3 videos in the description that have to do with this, what I talked about today. So anyway, y'all take care of each other and love each other out there, because that's what we're here for. God bless.